Evening, South Carolina weather watchers. Hopefully, everyone has had a fantastic Sunday. I'm your meteorologist, Joseph Peterson, and let's go and talk about the weather for your Sunday evening going into your week. As you look at the radar right now, we actually do have some isolated shower activity going on throughout the low country, the PD region, and maybe even inside the upstate of South Carolina. But if you go on and scroll our way up, you can see that we do have some heavier um, downpour activity going on inside of Georgia, Alabama, Florida, as well as even a severe thunderstorm warning going on down there inside of Florida with some flooding reports, some flash flood warnings going on near Tallahassee, in Ocilla, in I think that's how you pronounce that, Ocilla, Florida. In Jefferson County, it says report of water over the roadway inside of Florida, Mississippi, as well as Arkansas getting some rain. We also do have some snow going on in New York, and then maybe some rain activity going on in Washington as well. If you go on over here towards our cloud cover right now is showing some clouds throughout the low country of South Carolina, the PD region of South Carolina, as well as the Midlands of South Carolina. The upstate of South Carolina is receiving some some lower clouds right now, but overall, still cloud cover. There is one little clear patch, and it's over there just to the south of Rock Hill, near like Gaffney and Union as well, but that will probably get filled in pretty quickly. As we go on and talk about our cloud cover, we can't go that far out now because since daylight saving times pushed us forward, um, this model right here is actually going to be now an hour behind, meaning that we will not get our full 48 hours anymore. We'll be back to just the regular 18 hours, and it's the same thing for when we show our future as well. It's not going to be the most up-to-date one. It's actually going to be just the 18Z instead, so it won't go out as far. But overall, that's just what we have to work with. As you go on and push this forward, though, you can see that cloud cover is obviously going on throughout the entire state for about like the next 12 hours or so. And even as we get into tomorrow night as well, tomorrow afternoon going to tomorrow night, that cloud cover will still be going on strong. So it's definitely not going to see any clear sky for at least for the next 18 hours or so. So that's what we're looking at there. In terms of temperatures, 53 in Columbia as well as 52 in Chapin, 52 in Winsboro as well as 52 in Hartsville and Florence, 52 in Marion, 50 in Conway, 52 inside of Kingstree, 53 in Georgetown as well as Allendale, 55 in Moncks Corner, 53 in Somerville as well as 53 in Holly Hill. We also have 55 in Walterboro, 53 in Charleston, 53 in Hampton, as well as 55 in Walterboro and 52 in Beaufort. We also do have 53 in Myrtle Beach. I'm not quite sure if I talked about that region, but Myrtle Beach as well. We also do have 52 in North Myrtle Beach. In the upstate, 50 in Spartanburg, 48 Greenville, 48 in York, Rock Hill, 46 in Clemson, 48 in Anderson as well. Low temperatures for tonight. 45 in Greenville as well as Spartanburg, Rock Hill, 46 in Columbia, 46 in Orangeburg as well as 47 in Walterboro, 47 Myrtle Beach, Georgetown, 53 in Hilton Island, 51 in Charleston as well as 46 Barnwell, Orangeburg, 44 in Dillon and Florence as well. In terms of your forecast precipitation for the next 24 or so hours, you can see a tenth of an inch to a quarter of an inch possible inside of Greenville and Spartanburg, a quarter of an inch possible inside of Rock Hill, while a quarter of an inch to a half an inch is possible inside of Anderson and Cheraw, maybe even Dillon as well. Half an inch to an inch possible inside of Greenwood, Newberry, as well as Winsboro, Camden, Florence, Sumter, Columbia as well. And then an inch to maybe an inch and a half possible inside of Aiken, Kingstree, Myrtle Beach, Georgetown, Moncks Corner as well. And then 1.5 to 2 inches possible inside of Charleston, Walterboro, and Hilton Head Island. Not really too much of a surprise. We talked about that last night, as well as even, well, no, just pretty much just last night. And this morning, I guess you could say as well. But overall, this was expected. And as you go on, and let's go on and look at our models and see what it's showing. So here we go, starting off at 9 o'clock p.m. You can see that we do have that shower activity going on. Even as we go to around 2 o'clock in the morning, you have that heavy shower and downpour activity going on throughout the low country, South Carolina, the Midlands, the PD region. And then by the time you get to around 5 o'clock in the morning, just overall widespread precipitation going on from Columbia through the low country, the PD region as well. 6 o'clock in the morning right here. And then look at 7 to 8 o'clock in the morning. Just widespread rain throughout the entire, pretty much the entire state, even spreading to the upstate by around 9 to 10 o'clock in the morning, where it starts to become a bit widespread up there and continuing through the afternoon hours as well. Then the low country and the PD region gets a little bit of a break between 1 to 2 o'clock, but then 3, 4 o'clock, it gets right back to that rain activity. And then even by 9 o'clock as well, you can see some heavy rain going on throughout the PD region, still going on by around 10 to 1 o'clock in the morning, going into tomorrow night as well. And then going into, or sorry, yeah, tomorrow night. And then going into Tuesday as well. Tuesday's looking way drier. Most of the rain will be gone by around 5, 6 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday, and most of it's gonna be dry after that. So overall, just a rainy 40 hours or so. And then in terms of totals, we looked at totals already from the actual National Weather Service, but let's go on and look at it from just one independent model run, see what it says, and overall exactly probably what you expected. It is a bit over, like it says an inch in Columbia, even though Columbia was only forecasted for a half an inch to an inch, though I will say half an inch to an inch. Over here in Orangeburg, it has 2. Down here in downtown Charleston, it has 1.5. Moncks Corner around 2, Georgetown at 3, and then over here towards just to the north of Georgetown. Let me see, what region is this? This is, there's nothing loading right here. Plantersville, it has 4. So I mean, all these regions, and where you even have the Carolina Forest wildfire, it has 3 inches. That would be absolutely amazing, especially with the wildfire conditions going on over there. This would be an amazing um, thing for them to have, especially because I'm pretty sure everyone up there wants some rain. And then over here inside of the upstate as well, where there's the one up here in Oconee County as well, not much as down there in Carolina Forest, but still around 3/10 to maybe even 4/10 is possible, maybe even a bit less than that. But if you want to see your specific location, leave it inside the chat right now so I can go on and look at it. I'll come back to this though. I do want to check out the long-term future and talk about our week, and then if we have anybody wanting to know their exact location about how much rain they might get, then we'll talk about that. But first, let's talk about our long-term forecast and our week. First, time is in the top right corner of your screen as you go on and push this forward. Rain, shower activity, maybe even some thunderstorm activity going on from March, obviously from now until like March the 11th, until that pushes out completely. And then overall, it's just staying pretty dry until you get to around March the 16th. Maybe some shower activity continues there. Then maybe even going into March the 20th as well. But everything else is a bit too far out to talk about, and it's not really even showing much in terms of rain, except for obviously, the next couple of days. But after that, it's not really showing much in terms of rainfall at all. So after today and tomorrow, and then obviously a bit of Tuesday as well, we're not going to see that much rain unless the models change or shift significantly. Right now, it's looking like it's not really going to be much, especially as much as this event is. So now let's go on and talk about our week. Here we go right here. Time, again, in the top right, even though you won't really need it. It just shows from now until March the 16th at 12 o'clock p.m., which is next week, Sunday. And you can see that it will be above average. It will be above average in terms of temperatures. So everyone inside the state will be above average. The most above average region, though, will be inside the upstate of South Carolina, while the coastal region will be a bit more towards normal, but still above average. So definitely something to look for there. And pretty much the entire United States is above average, except for some places out there in the west, probably. And then in terms of precipitation, it's actually pretty diverse. There actually is some above average precipitation for the low country of South Carolina, as well as the southern PD region, and the southern Midlands as well, while places like the rest of the PD, well, not the rest, but around like the central PD region, going through like the Columbia region and then up towards Anderson, Greenville, Spartanburg, it will be pretty much normal. And then from Rock Hill over towards, let's say, like Florence, it's going to be below average. in terms of precipitation, making it drier than average. So overall, it's going to be diverse temperature though, above average. Precipitation diverse from below average to above average. And that pretty much wraps that up. Let's go on and talk about our temperature anomalies though. So here we go right here. We move on down here towards the southeast real quick. You can see just as we move through March the 16th, the 17th, it's just going to be nice and warm until we get to around March the 21st, which is a bit further out than I thought. I think I actually I actually started a bit too early. But here we go right here. This is where we're supposed to start. As we go through the next couple of days, it may be below average in terms of temperatures. But if you go in terms of from pretty much after the event passes, it's going to be pretty warm, and then a cold front will actually pass going into this weekend as well, which is why you can kind of see that line there starting to push through, and then why things start to get a little bit below average. But that warm air takes over right back again, and then another cold front potentially March the 21st as well, bringing some more cool air. But that warm air just continues to take shape, even though that cold front did just pass. So warm air is pretty much going to be a pretty consistent and a pretty eventful thing as we go all the way from now into around March the 24th ish, going into like the 25th and stuff like that. So let's go on now and talk with the audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Let's see what the audience has to say for tonight. Mr. Anthony says, good evening to you. That says, good evening, Joseph. It was a bit chilly here today. I hope all is well. Definitely different from your nice days in the sunshine that you were bringing to the chat every day. Mr. Oliver says, good evening. I survived off of one less hour of sleep, cloudy with a few showers at my house. For a second, I thought you said one less than an hour of sleep. I was about to be concerned, but one less hour of sleep. That, you know, I'm not quite sure. You know, I like daylight saving time, but the fact that you lose an hour of sleep is kind of a bit whack. But you know, you get adjusted to it. And today I looked outside; it was 7:54. I think it was around like 7:54, 7:55 ish, and I thought it was 6 o'clock. So, you know, it's gonna take some time, but I'll get through it eventually. Terrell says, "Hi, Jess, how are you doing? I am cold. Yes, it is 52 degrees where I am right now. Only a max temperature of 65 today. So overall, it's really gonna start cooling down, especially as the rain pushes in as well. But it will warm back up by midweek, so you won't really have to worry about that much." Ms. Oliver says, "Did the rain put out any wildfires?" Not right now. I think if it was to try and help to put out a wildfire, I don't think it's going to get rid of the wildfire like completely, but in terms of just what's going on, in terms of, you know, how much you can put out, it's kind of just, you know, you need a lot of rain to put out a full wildfire, and I don't think that this will completely put it out. It will definitely help. Don't get me wrong, it will help. I don't think that will put it out completely, but we're just gonna have to wait until, you know, all the rain passes, and then they'll bring us an update of, you know, the containment and how and where it's at right now, and we can go on and even look at, you know, the size of it and what's going on. You got wildfires in South Carolina. Pretty much. Let me go ahead and show this real quick. Move on down here. Actually, there was 3 wildfires. I forgot there was another one that started there was one that started last night, or yesterday, over here inside of Berkeley County, over there on the line of Berkeley County and Williamsburg County. This is the Laurel Hill fire. It's 24 acres. Then you still have the one over here inside of Carolina Forest, 2,059 acres. I think it was bigger than that yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. It may have been smaller. I'm not quite sure. But it is. They are still going through with it right now. And then the one up here near Walhalla, that's been going on for about a week now. It's 473 acres still. And so that's the one that will probably not be impacted the least. But these two down here, especially down there in the Carolina Forest, will definitely be impacted the most as well. So that rain is definitely very beneficial. Very, very beneficial. And that's it in terms of the chat. So let's go on and talk about San Antonio and Raleigh, and then we'll talk about what's going on throughout the entire U.S. And then we'll be out for tonight. Low temperature tonight in San Antonio, 44. High temperature tomorrow, 76. Low temperature tomorrow night at 46. No precipitation is expected at all, which is lucky, unless you have wildfires going on. Temperatures tonight in Raleigh, low temperature tonight 41, high temperatures tomorrow at 61, low temperatures tomorrow night at 41. So 41, 61, 41. With precipitation possible pretty much all day tomorrow. Chance of rain, a 30 to 40% chance going on all the way from tomorrow morning all the way through tomorrow night as well. So that's what's going on in terms of San Antonio and Raleigh. No precipitation is expected, or no severe weather is expected. But I also did forget to talk about severe weather as well, and there is just a little marginal risk of excessive rainfall for tonight over here for Hilton Head Island, Ridgeland, Beaufort, and Bluffton as well, which just shows some minor flooding from now going into tomorrow morning potentially. And other than that, that's all that I see. So now we're going to talk about what's going on throughout the entire United States. Just news-worthy stuff, weather news. Scattered showers and isolated strong/severe thunderstorms are expected across southeast through Monday, with scattered instances of flash flooding possible across portions of southern Georgia and northern Florida. Dry and windy conditions may produce fire weather conditions across much of the Great Plains, especially in the northern plains, where critical fire weather conditions are expected. So, definitely fire conditions going on in the central U.S., high winds going on in the northern central U.S. We also do have some flooding going on, obviously, southern Georgia and Florida, but other than that, that's pretty much it. Some freezing maybe trying to go on in California, but that's not really that surprising. And nothing else that's really important. So let me check the chat one more time. I don't see anything else. So that's gonna go on and end this off. If you have not hit the like button or the subscribe button, make sure that you go on and do so. Also, make sure that you go on and hit the the share button as well. As we're trying to get to 425 subscribers, and then our subscriber goal of 500. In terms of important news, wildfires continue. Heavy rain and low pressure imminent. Drying out and warming up during midweek. Fire weather concerns midweek as well, which I did forget to mention that. Wind gusts up to 20 to 25 miles per hour could potentially spark another wildfire concern as well as we go through the midweek. Showers are possible on Thursday. We'll get a cold front this weekend and the lunar eclipse. The lunar eclipse is now this week, Thursday night going into Friday morning. I'm a bit concerned in terms of cloud cover though. Especially with the showers possible on Thursday. But we'll continue to watch for that, and we'll see what happens. But I will be back tomorrow morning with your Monday morning forecast update for the start of your week. Everyone have a fantastic rest of your Sunday, and I will be back tomorrow morning. How.